This video is brought to you by the Crafts channel in association with Palmer Metals. For more information, visit www.palmermetals.co.uk. Hello and welcome to the Crafts channel in association with Palmer Metals. I'm here with Corinne Bradd, who's making some jewellery with wire lace.
Hello Abby, yes. What I'm going to show you how to make today is this beautiful Swirl of Pearls bracelet, which is threaded onto 2.5mm wire lace.
Okay, well that looks really complicated to me.
No, it's not at all. I mean, the wire lace itself is great. I mean, you may have seen other products, but this is really flexible. It flows like material. I mean, if you feel that.
Yeah. It's interesting how it stretches out as well.
Well, it's knitted. It's very fine wire that's been knitted into a tube.
I was going to say, if I think of lace, I think
crochet,
knitted,
don't you?
yeah.
But it's great because what it means is you can manipulate it. I mean, there's a bracelet that I've made here with a wider wire lace. So what you've got is I've stretched out the green lace.
Yeah, but it goes back into shape, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you pull it out, you can
push it, you can put it back in shape.
Yeah.
So it's all tubular. So what you can do with the wider wire lace, you can put beads inside it as well as thread it through beads. The only one that isn't tubular is the 1mm one, but because that is so fine, you wouldn't want to thread beads through it anyway.
So we've got loads of colours.
Yeah, there is loads of colours. I mean, you know, any shade of green and blue and turquoise. There's pinks, golds, lots of earth colours, lots of metallic colours.
And it comes in lots of different widths as well.
Yeah, as I say, we're using the 2.5mm width today.
Yeah.
We've got some rolls here that are 6mm, and as again you get the 1mm as well. But it's so not malleable exactly, but it flows so easily. It is like a thread. It's like fabric.
I could probably play with this all day.
Well, I'm afraid you can't play with that because I need that in a minute. What I'm going to show you, the Swirl of Pearls bracelet, we make it on one of the wire lace templates. You buy it as a kit and it comes with the template, the instructions, the beads. It doesn't come with the beads, but it tells you what beads you need and what length of lace you need.
And the wire.
And a needle to help you thread.
Okay. It doesn't come with the wire though?
No, it doesn't come with the wire.
No. Because you could use different...
Well, you can use any colour you like. I mean, this bracelet here has been made on exactly the same template, but with larger pearls and a different colour of wire.
Yeah.
Once you've got the template, you can really experiment with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the 2.5mm lace, just make sure the end's clear, and thread it through this expanding eye needle, if I can see what I'm doing.
That's an adjustable.
Yeah, it's an adjustable needle because it's got a loop of wire there, I don't know if you can see that just contracts in as you're threading it through the beads. And then we'll start to thread the beads. Now you will start, it says on the instructions, you'll start at the end of row 10. So I'm going to start with a 4mm bicone.
Okay. I'd probably say read the instructions before
you do read the instructions before you do it. But once you've done it, it's very, very simple. The most difficult bit is finding the holes in the beads. So I'm going to thread them on. And I would suggest...
And you're following the order of the beads.
I'm following the order on the beads on here, yeah.
You've organised yours quite a lot, haven't you? So just that makes it easier and quicker, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is just simply a fabric-covered board. I mean, this is an old macrame board that my dad made me about 30-odd years ago, and it's so useful for numerous things. It stops your beads rolling around.
Yeah.
It means that you can see, you know, it's big enough to work on. So it's great as a work surface. I mean, bead mats also, they're invaluable as well. Sort of velvety bead mats, because it just stops things rolling about. So I'm just going to thread these on.
Do you want me to do any?
No, you're okay. It's just the light reflecting off the needle means I can't see the end of it. And you would thread them onto the piece of lace. I'd keep the lace on the wire because then you can cut it to length when you need to. And here, in true demonstration fashion.
You get quite a lot on a roll, don't you? You get
I mean, these rolls you get 10 yards. I mean, you can buy it in 1 yard lengths.
Yeah.
You can buy the reels in longer lengths. So all these beads have been threaded on.
In the correct order.
In the correct order. And then you simply start at number 1 with a 6mm pearl. Give yourself, 4 or 5 inches working wire and simply clip your wire onto the template. This is a mini bulldog clip. These
and
are
obviously
quite handy.
here you're starting at number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I've got 10 beads on line number 1. So I'm just going to put 10 beads here. Don't worry about spacing them out yet because we're going to come to that in a minute. Bend it around the template onto line 2. And again, we've got 10 beads on that line.
This template's really handy.
It is really handy.
You'd obviously, to get something like this, you've got it all matches up, doesn't it? So when
yeah,
it
well,
twists
this is it.
round,
Yeah, what it means is you've got although it looks random, you've got a constant supply of pearls and crystals. You know, there's not one big clump of pearls somewhere. There's not one big clump of crystals.
Yeah.
It really does work very, very well. So you carry on clipping it round, and that will end here. And I'm just going to hold it in place. And what you would do, you would wrap it right around the board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to wrap it right around because I don't have the time. And I just want to show you how you do it. Because what you would do, you'd follow your bead pattern.
Yeah.
So you've got a 6mm pearl and a 4mm bicone there. So just don't put it over the top, just put it close to it. A 4mm pearl, a 3mm pearl and a 4mm bicone.
This has all been worked out for you.
Yeah, this has all been worked out for you.
Board.
But the beauty of it is if you stick, you don't have to go with 6mm, 3mm, 4mm.
Yeah.
With this one, I mean, these are 8mm, 4mm, but I've decided which bead will replace which bead. So you can, as long as you make sure all your blue beads are on the purple and all your clear beads are on the turquoise, then you can get the same sort of effect with a different supply of beads.
It's interesting how the different sizes of beads as well make a difference.
Yeah,
You've got
I mean, that's dramatically different
beads
to the one that we're actually making today. What you would do, your whole card would be filled and you would space your beads out on the card like this. Okay?
Yeah.
And the way you attach them, you'll notice I haven't put them directly over their icons. I'm going to use a hypo cement, GS hypo cement, which is a flexible glue but very, very strong.
Yeah.
You just want to put a little dab of glue on the wire lace, not on the template itself.
Mm-hmm. So that's got a fine needle tip as well.
It has got a fine needle tip, yeah, so you can accurately place it.
Yeah.
And you need to do each bead at a time. You
just
can't
need a tiny blob.
Yeah, you can't glue the whole wire and then slide your beads because it will move the glue.
Yeah.
But this is why I've placed them close to where they're supposed to be, so that I can simply slide it onto the glue, one at a time. And you would do this for the whole of the card on both sides. I mean, it's better to do one side, give it 5 minutes just for the glue to go tacky, flip it over and do the other side.
You have to be quite methodical with it. But it's interesting.
Yeah. But this is why I have put all the beads on the lace to start with.
Yeah.
Because then you can just sit down with the glue. The glue it's a very slow flowing glue. So once you squeeze it, I mean, you will see here how much it's flowed out. Once you squeeze it, you're better off gluing it all at a time. And when you've finished with it, make sure that you put the needle point back in there, which is really tricky, especially when your hands are shaking.
Do you want me to do that?
Yes, I'd love you to do that. Put the needle point back in there so you don't waste any glue. So I'm going to refer now to the one that I have already glued, which is this card here. And to make sure that all the beads are stuck, if you give it a shake, tap on the table, nothing's moving.
Yeah.
The other end has been clipped in place. What you need,
how do you know how much wire you need?
it does say it on the instructions.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head. No, I can't. I'm not even going to make a guess at it. In the instructions, it tells you the exact length of wire that you need.
Yeah.
And you will need one extra piece, which I've cut earlier, which I'll show you in a minute. So, if you unclip your ends and simply tie in an overhand knot, yeah? And then you squeeze these pieces up together.
Yeah, that's the ends of it.
That's one end of it, yeah. Slide one end of the lace underneath all of these strands, yeah?
Yep.
And then tie it in a reef knot or a flat knot. So you've got a nice secure end, like this. Take this other piece of wire.
Do the same.
Do the same at the other end. Again, a flat knot.
So you'd probably say that it takes an hour or
I don't even think it would take an hour. I mean,
No.
you know, it's one of those things when you first start doing it, because you're concentrating on doing it correctly, it will take you longer. But once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. And then what you need to do is just, if you bend that card, you can just slide this off really, really easily.
Yeah.
And that is your swirl of pearls. And they're all exactly the right length for your bracelet, and you swirl them. And just to finish the ends, you've tied this in a good tight knot, and this will hold all the pieces together. If you just trim the end with a pair of ordinary household scissors,
Thing is, this looks it looks almost store-bought, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And the finishing touches are really good. With those ends, if you just twist them, because they're wire, they'll stay into a point. And you can get one of these cup ends. I'm not going to do it now because you've only just put the needle back in there.
Yeah.
If you fill your cup end with hypo cement, and then you just push that end into it, and while it's held in with the glue, if you take a cocktail stick, you can, I don't know if you can see, you can push the wire lace
into the end. Probably easy if you've got glue on it.
It is.
And then you put a clasp on the end of that.
Yeah, and the other nice thing is Wirelace have also got some of these clasps, as I say, that coordinate beautifully with the crystals.
With the sets. Brilliant.
So they fit in, and it does make a lovely, lovely bracelet.
Yeah, or a gift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Well, that's the other, you know, the other thing also, Amanda at Palmer's was saying to me, if you've got a bracelet like this,
Yeah.
you don't have to wear it as a bracelet. If you've got another chain as well, another clasp, you can have it as a necklace with a chain around the back of it.
Mm.
So very, very simple to make. And, you know, once you've started making them, your imagination will go wild.
Well, brilliant, Corinne. Thank you very much for that. That's all we have time for here today on the Crafts channel. Remember to join us next time.